Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the February 19th, 2014 Lorain County Board of Commissioners meeting. Commissioner Williams has our dog today.
Well, we have a female Rottweiler mix here. Very, very good young lady. Found in Washington Avenue in the city of Lorain. It's going to be up for adoption. When? On the 21st. So, great young lady, very quiet, hasn't barked since being up here, and just looking for someone to take her home and have a good, come on, turn around. No one wants to see your backside. Take her home and make her part of the family. So, please come out and take a look at all the other dogs available at the kennel. Thank you.
Oh, she's so scared. Poor baby.
Skittish.
She's very scared. She had a rough ride up, but she didn't like the elevator, he said.
Madam Clerk,
Under Resolutions Number 1, Job and Family Services Bills.
so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Investments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Travel.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
I'll be aye with the exception of the Lorain County Chamber.
Under the airport, approve change order number 1 to A.J. Riley, Inc. for the airport rehab taxi lanes A and B projects. This change order reflects unused contract quantities and reduced original contract price by $26,315.20.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
It's nice to come in under budget.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Approve change order number 2 to Crossroads Asphalt Recycling, Inc. Columbia Station for the airport rehab taxi lane C project. This change order reflects unused contract quantities for erosion control and embankment work, reducing original contract price by $3,477.14.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Another one under budget.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
What do you got for us today, Mr. Cortez?
Well, I do have a couple potential new hires at the intermittent workers for Transportation Center. Our grant's getting ready to ramp in about 2 months on the invasive species eradication. I want to talk a little bit about some hires there so we can be prepared when the weather breaks. I know it doesn't sound like that with all the snow on the ground.
Today it's going to break.
Also,
Today.
Yeah.
potential hire at the dog kennel and community development, EMA. I'd just like to talk about those potential hires and some applicants there. Also, ongoing labor relations with regard to sheriff's contract possibly, and the potential purchase and sale of real estate. All of those topics are allowable for executive session discussion, so I'd ask at the end of our regular board meeting today, we go into executive session and we talk about those items that I've outlined. Thank you.
Approval of the reading of the minutes of February 12th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Under the sanitary, adopt the Lorain County Sanitary Engineer Building, Sewers, and Connection Rules and Regulations. The permit fee is $100, inspection fee is $1,000, and system fee is $1,700.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Under the Transit, approve and enter in a 5-year contract with First Transit, Inc., Cincinnati, Ohio, effective April 1st, 2014 through December 31st, 2018, with 5 one-year renewal options. 4 proposals were received, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank First Transit. Glad their proposal came in. They've been great partners with us over the years through all the downturn we've had.
Thank you.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Under the engineer, accept and journalize the 2013 report on bridges in the county. Inspected 228 bridges ranging in span from 10 to 305 feet. 3 bridges were completed last year and 4 funded thus far this year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Cortez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, I'd like to take us back to item number 13. And I'm sorry that I didn't speak up while you were voting on this, but I'd also like to add a requirement that any work performed will require a $10,000 bond, so that if the work isn't performed in accordance with our standards, we have some way of addressing that. Right now, we don't require that, and normally as a practice, we require bonding on projects so that we have an ability to manage them should they not be performed in accordance with our requirements and regulations.
Teresa, can we go back to 13 then and amend that resolution, adding that additional language of the $10,000 bond?
Yes.
Well,
Make the motion.
Well,
Well, go ahead.
I just want, when we say a $10,000, we're doing it per connection, right?
Well,
Or-
whatever the contractor is, usually they only do 1 connection at a time. So that's a
Okay.
good question. I suppose it could happen where they do 2 or 3. So maybe we do need that specific detail, that it should be 10,000 per connection.
Well, I have a question. Can we just amend it with the 10,000, then send it back and do a paperwork cleanup next week if it has to be per connection? Or are we going to add it now ahead of time, not knowing if it has to be per connection?
Well, actually, that's just a thought process.
Right.
It's not a requirement. This is a self-imposed requirement. There's no outstanding regulation that we're trying to comply with. We're just trying to get some best practices ourselves so that we have the ability to motivate people should there be a problem.
Okay.
So it's philosophically how you feel about it. If you feel that 10,000 is suitable and it's more than 1 connection, that's fine. If you feel that we need to have it per connection, that also would be agreeable. I don't know how many times we have multiple connections, but it has occurred. So
Sure, yes.
Yeah,
it
I'm
does
looking at
multiple
it.
parts of the job.
Yeah, I'm looking at maybe if a development would be going in somewhere, and you have that. I know with the engineer, you actually take a percentage, don't you, for a development where, for roadways, that they have to bond so much?
That'd be, Commissioner, that'd be for the inspection.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
Okay.
gotta go up to the mic.
Bob Klaiber with the engineer's office. For inspection, normally we take a percentage of the total cost, and that's what we base our inspection fee on for the beginning of the project. I think with the bonding, though, traditionally what we're looking for is that the contractor would become licensed and bonded at the beginning of the season. I think paperwork-wise, it would be probably very difficult to actually get a bond for every connection you would make. What we would do is if we found a builder not complying, and if he was not responsive, we would actually remove, we would take his license away. And actually, there's provisions for that in the legislation that we submitted.
So the per tap is not necessary? Or is that
I
what
wouldn't
you're
think so
saying?
for TAP, because again, what we're asking for from the legislation, that the contractor would come in at the beginning of the year, get licensed and bonded with a $10,000 bond. Then there's provisions in the legislation, should he or she not perform, we would actually come back, I believe, to the commissioners, Jerry, we had it set up, and asked that they would remove the license so that that contractor could no longer work.
Okay, so one singular $10,000.
That's traditionally the way it's done.
Okay.
Now, what you're looking at, Commissioners, again, if it's a big project, yeah, you would have a bond for that specific project, but this would be at the beginning of the year that generally they could do sewer connection work in Lorain County.
Okay, thank you.
I made the motion to approve the single $10,000 bond.
Okay, second.
Any further discussion? Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
I have no further issues this morning. Thank you.
Mr. Innes?
Commissioners, I have one matter of pending litigation that I'd like to update you in executive session.
Commissioners report.
A short week this week. Looking forward to Friday to, with emergency management, to look at some companies that do reverse 911 for emergencies, to get people informed if there is an emergency. So that will be on Friday. I did get an estimate on the dog licenses, and it looks like our income has increased. I'm not sure if it's tag per tag because there was a increase in the amount of the licenses this year. So it's an estimate, and hopefully I will get hard numbers this week or next. And that's really the end of my report.
Busy week with meetings. Board of Revision met, we held organizational meeting last Wednesday after the commissioners meeting, so that's all ready to go. Just waiting for everyone who's putting in their appealing process. We had NOAC on Friday, the new process. We had policy and planning board meeting. Went very well. Again, over time, we're trying to restructure how we're doing, getting the board members involved in all the projects so they understand the process, which was nice. Not just a governing board meeting every month that gets approved through staff. This is actually all the board members doing the work on the projects. Commissioner Williams and I also attended the Farm Bureau Legislative Breakfast in Wellington the other day. A lot of nice discussion going on. We had Representative Marcy Capper's office there, Nick Turner, and then also Congressman Gibbs, Senator Gail Manning, Representative Ramos, Representative Boos, 2 commissioners from Huron County.
3.
3? We're all 3 there?
Yes.
Well, I missed one. And then Tom and I representing Lorain County. That's the end of my report.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to thank our team here, Mr. Cortez, Pat Metzger, Don Romanchik, Chris Kish from Team Lorain County. Friday, we met with the company out at the airport, talk about the moving forward with the facility, and it's looking promising. No guarantees. We didn't get the contract written, but it would possibly bring in 10 to say 20 jobs. Average wage would be 20 an hour, and it would be approximately a 30,000 square foot facility. So, and it would be a new facility coming here. So exciting on that. Looking forward to it. If this does go through, will allow the opportunity for me to reach out to another company out of state to possibly bring in a significant size chicken farm. So good things coming. On Monday, again, what Mr. Kalo said, we were out at the Farm Bureau's meeting. Good meeting out there, nice to talk with the individuals. They played an important part as well to try to get this company to locate here, so I want to thank them as well. And then Monday afternoon, went to the Lorain Library on the west side, spoke with community leaders out there about Black history and the importance of having leadership, not only at the state level, but also here at the local level. So I want to thank them for inviting me to the event and allowing me to participate in the discussion panel. That's the end of my report.
Commissioners are proclaiming last Saturday, which is February 22nd, as National Wear Red Day for Health Awareness Network Connection, Understanding Women and Health Disease, and then also giving a proclamation at Aura Ross on her being the 2014 NAACP honoree. Board correspondence?
Move the reading be waived.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Public comment?
One thing, I was going to have Hal put up a meeting notice. There's going to be a movie for HBO shot in the city of Lorain. supposed to be taking part, make it look like it's New York, and they're going to be looking for volunteers. If you're interested, contact the Ohio Hispanic Heritage Coalition and let them know that you would like to be part of that. It's supposed to take place on March 1st. So, sorry.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
No public comment then?
Did you
Anyone looking to address the board this morning? I'll make a motion to move an executive session as outlined by the county administrator and county prosecutor.
Second?
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.